Tommy Bridewell consistently racking up the podium points. You now lead the championship. How tough was that race for you?
Yeah, it was very tough, to be honest. The conditions when you sat on the grid were certainly full wet-ish, but I knew it was going to be a matter of time when it dried up. I kind of got to the front and tried to push hard for 3, 4, 5-ish laps to make a bit of a gap, and really tried to drop the pace as much as I could to slow it down a bit. But if I'm honest, I kind of had in my mind that the last 5 laps I would push a lot harder and pick up the pace. But when I tried to do that, these two had more, and my tyre was just absolutely bowled. So you get to that point where it's like, right, 16 points is better than no points, and it's a long season. But I actually want to say thank you to Taffy Norman General Builders. He should have a visor sticker on, and he built me a lovely porch at my house. But I keep changing visors and I haven't got any stickers, so that should make up for it. Thank you.
Dan, you're the 8th different rider to stand on the podium this season, and the first for Santander Salt Tag Yamaha. How good does it feel?
It's very welcome. It's been a really tough start to the year for us. Generally shown some one-lap speed, but in this game that means nothing, and our races have been dreadful from like lap 4 onwards all year. But we've been suffering with chatter, and I think we relieved that yesterday. Still not a dry race to confirm, but so far we'll take the wet podium. I was happy to follow Tommy for most of the race and just keep calm, settle in, try and save some tyre and see what the end brings. And obviously Josh had more at the end, and it was a very dry line at the end, and the tyres were moving around a lot. But it's a very welcome podium. The team have worked really hard. Every component's been changed in the last 2 days to try and fix our problems, and we think we're about there now. So hopefully this can be the start of our season.
Josh, you timed it perfectly to take the win in race 1 of the Integro Triple Crown. Can you talk us through it from your perspective?
Yeah, obviously on the grid it was extremely wet. It would have been very difficult to ride in anything other than full wets. But the calculated decision was to kind of understand it was going to be dry at the end of the race. The sun was out, the wind was blowing, so the water was gonna dry up quite quick. So we kind of guesstimated a towards a dry setting as opposed to our ideal wet setting. And I was surprised at how bad the bike felt, because after morning warm-up I was second fastest in wet conditions. So to the first early laps of the race, I really struggled because of the drier setting the bike was had in, and I just had to be really patient. I nearly fell off 2 or 3 times, and every time I actually said to myself, actually out loud in my helmet, just calm it down. The grip's not there. Just wait for it to dry, and just had to be patient. And I watched everybody what looked like ride off into the distance, and then you watch the race. There was a point where the tables turned, and I was able to edge back and start making some passes. And at that point, I think I had like 9 laps to go. So there's still quite a lot of racing to be had. And just started moving forward and passing people as often and safely as I could, and trying to stay on the dry track where the most of the grip was. And at the end, I wasn't sure how quick I needed to go to make it to first. I was just really riding my own race. I wasn't even, thinking that I could win it. I was just thinking ride as fast as I could in the conditions, and then with maybe 3 laps to go, then I knew that there was a real chance I could win this. So I kind of just again had to ride smart and not make any mistakes, because even the way I was riding, it was still very on edge. There was quite a few moments. So really pleased. Obviously championship position, it's helpful. Team and sponsors will be pleased. So I'm very happy.